going on, you guys? Welcome to today's video. Today is March 6th. We are getting into the end of the first quarter, so I hope things are going great for you guys. Hope you guys are crushing it. If you haven't been to this channel before, welcome. This is a channel where if you want to actively live passively through the ATM business, through the ATM industry, this channel is for you. I am going to be talking about a lot of different tips, tricks, insights, things that I didn't consider when starting, things you probably should, things I want you to have the knowledge with when starting your own ATM business. This channel will probably morph over time into doing more things, but right now it is solely focused on helping you start your own ATM business. That's what you're trying to do. This video is based on popular demand. A lot of people have been asking me to do this video. So we're gonna dive right in. I have a list on my phone of a couple things I wanna run through. And the topic is ATM events. Quite frankly, this is our bread and butter here. I would say more so than our fixed locations, honestly. So I'm super excited to talk about it. It's probably gonna be a little bit longer, but you'll probably wanna watch the whole thing because there's a lot that goes into it that you probably should consider if you, A, have never done an event and you're solely on just fixed locations right now, and you want to branch into doing events or doing mobile, I guess they call it. So there's going to be a lot that you'll probably want to write down, notate, watch again, rewind, all of that stuff. So again, it's kind of our bread and butter, it's our forte. I'll be quite honest, I absolutely love events, super passionate about it. I think the reason why it's our bread and butter is because when we started this business originally, we started it at the end of the summer. But we realized it's probably a good way to make a lot more money in a shorter period of time, which it is, versus trying to land these fixed locations and, and having not really been established. So it was a really good way to get our name out there and just go cutthroat, go balls out on landing these events, which was awesome. We landed 3 or 4 different events, which is in August and then September. So right at the end of the event season here, before it starts getting freaking freezing cold. But it was great. We got our name out there, we did what we could, and established some pretty good relationships with some important people that is going to be helping us the next couple of years, probably the life of this business, which will be forever. So pretty cool. I'm gonna keep glancing down at my phone every now and again because there's a few things I want you to consider. First thing you probably need to consider, your cash demand, okay? Events, massive amounts of people showing up in 2-3 days, maybe a week max. But again, you're gonna need a lot more cash than what you're used to working with a fixed location. Because I'm sure right now if you have that, fixed locations, you're just stocking it up with 1 to maybe 3 or 4 grand at a time, maybe every couple days, maybe every couple weeks, I don't know. But for events, especially dependent upon the event, the vendors, if they're cash only vendors, if it's an entrance, cash only entrance next to a bar, there's a lot of different factors that go into it, but you want to make sure that you have the ability to have a higher amount of cash demand, maybe 20, probably up to 40 grand. And if you're not able to do that, that's just one thing that you're going to have to figure out how to do. Okay, that's just the nature of, that's just the reality of it. You're gonna burn through a ton more cash. So how are you gonna come up with that? Are you gonna take out a line of credit? Are you gonna cash advance some things? Are you gonna use your cards? Are you gonna borrow from a friend? Are you gonna take out a loan? You're gonna realize, depending upon the event, again, it's gonna take a lot more cash that you're just gonna burn through, and that's just the nature of it. So it's something that you need to consider, something that you'll probably have to figure out how to get your hands on to do an event. Okay, how are you gonna secure your machine at the event? Obviously, it's not a fixed location. You're not gonna be bolting it in to concrete or tile or wood or what have you. It's sitting there, it's under a canopy. What are you gonna do from keeping Joe Schmo to bring his trailer and pick it up and take off with it, right? That's something that's super important. You're gonna have to either figure out how to weigh it down with sandbags, with concrete blocks in the vault, or bike locks. Last year we did kind of ghetto, but we did bike locks through the holes in the machine at the bottom, at the base. Bike locked it around some steel fences that are fenced into the ground, so obviously not going anywhere. And I will note, take out your cash at night too if it's a couple day event. Like, don't just leave your cash in there overnight. You're crazy if you do that. I've heard of other ATM owners who have been doing that, and it just kind of scares me. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that my cash is 20 miles away just chilling, right? Like, for anybody. So just a little side note, but you're gonna have to figure out how to secure it, okay? Metal chains, enclosures. We haven't bought enclosures yet. Hasn't been worth it to us to buy one of those because it's like, what, $1,500? It's almost the price of a machine, which is kind of dumb. And that's just the reality of a business that's starting out, okay? That's super new. Just being real with you, like, you're gonna have to figure out where to put your cash in the right places. For us, an enclosure right now, probably not something that is worth it to us to invest into. Some of you guys might argue that, but there's other ways that you can use. Go to Home Depot and buy for $3 a, I don't know, what are they, 10-pound sandbag each. Get like 20 of those and just stock them up and just put them in your machine, right? Got the hiccups, heartburn. I've seen people use bricks. I've seen people use, again, chains. I've seen people use nothing to secure it. If they're going to be there for a one-day event and they're going to be watching the machine all day, you don't really need to secure it. That's something to keep in mind as well. You're gonna have to figure out per the event, how is it set up? What's the layout? Where is the machine going to be placed? Is it going to be placed next to a bar? Is it going to be placed next to a cash-only bar? Cash-only entrance? Exits? Parking? Where is this machine going to be placed? That you should probably place it where it's going to be most profitable, obviously. What's the timing of the event as well? Is it sun up to sundown? Is it 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.? Is it all day? And then also, how are you going to manage if you have a day job monitoring the event, right? If you got to go set it up in the morning and it's going to be chilling there all day and you're not going to be able to go pick it up till at nighttime, what are you going to do? So that's something that you have to figure out. Make sure at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you use, just make sure that it's going to be secure. Transportation for the machines. How are you going to transport the machines? What's the demand of the machines there? Do they need one? Do they need two? Is it a 100,000 EDC, EDM bumping festival for a week? Like, how many machines are you going to need, really? And the amount of machines that you need is probably going to be a determinant for how much cash you need as well. Last year we went down to an event. We brought 2 machines. There was about 20 food vendors. There's about 30 different merchandise vendors. A big old rodeo. And it saw like 100 transactions. It's ridiculous. Like 2 machines. Clearly the event coordinator, she pretended like she knew what she was doing and like what we needed to do. And so I was kind of trusting her a little bit to tell me about where to put it. All the food vendors were card. The rodeo was prepaid for the tickets, so of course nobody used the machine. And we could have been doing another event with that other second machine somewhere else. So something to keep in mind. You're going to have to be mindful of finding out how you're going to transport it there and how many you're going to transport as well. You can use a trailer, you can use a truck. You can fit, I'm pretty sure you can fit a Hyosung in the back of like a Prius. A Gen Mega is not going to fit. It's a little bit bulkier, a little bit heftier. But if you do have an SUV or a van, you can lay the seats down. You can easily slide, 1 or 2 in there if that's helpful for you. Okay, most important, how are you going to find a connection for your machine? Are you going to hardline it, which might be hard to do? Are you going to do a wireless box, which I would recommend from DPL? I'll put the link in the description. Shout out, there's your plug, DPL, if you're watching this. But we use, for the majority of the time, we use wireless boxes, wireless routers, because if you're out in the middle of who knows where, you're not going to be able to have connection to hardline. You might not have a pavilion, a hardline connection, or anything like that. You might not even have a power source as well. How are you going to find power? What's your backup, right? Are you going to have a battery pack? Are you going to have a solar ATM? I don't know if that's even a thing, but I'm going to invent it. What are you going to do for power and your connection, just like a fixed location? What is the venue? What does it look like? Everybody that I do an event with, I always ask them to send me a map of the event, or I'll try and go and find it online. If I can't find it, I'll ask them. But that's going to be super helpful, because then you can see, okay, here's the map, and they'll probably send the map over and say, yeah, we want to put the machines here and here and here. I've even asked to meet people a couple days before the event just to do a little walkthrough. I went through a walkthrough the other day. Our event's not till 4th of July. We're going to do one here, we're going to do one here. People are going to be funneling in from this way. Traffic's going to flow through here for all the other vendors, so this is going to be a one-way. You can't get out here. And just scope it out. Just go kind of get your hands dirty with what you're going to be working with. And then lastly, how are you finding these events? Quite frankly, the easiest way to put it is you're going to find these events the same way that you're probably finding these fixed locations as well. Okay, you're going to want to network. You're going to want to call people. You're going to want to email, cold call, cold email, make a friend, DM on Instagram, message them on Facebook, ask people, go to their event or venue, place, knock on their door, ask them when's their event, what's going on. Cool thing about the events is they have an incentive to get back to you quicker. Versus a fixed location, they're like, oh, we don't need to get back to this guy's email. We're going to be here for the next 30 years. Like, yeah, I'll just reach out to him if I need him. But with these events, they're coming around quick. So the event coordinators are trying to do everything they can just to make sure that they have everything in place so that the event goes smoothly. That's their job. The cool thing is you can leverage yourself and say, hey, we're getting booked super fast. What do we need to do to get into your event? Can we support you? A lot of people, even if they have current ATM providers, like last year, this massive one that we just landed, it's going to be huge. Next to some cash-only bars, it's going to be sweet. But last year I reached out, she said, hey, we already have one, we're happy with them. I'll reach out to you if anything changes. And then I followed up with her this year and said, hey, just wanted to see if anything has changed. We would love to support you. This is what we can offer. Boom, 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 boom. And she called me and was like, oh my God, that's like way better than what we're doing, what we're getting right now. Just be diligent about it. Just stay with it. Keep calling, keep emailing, and do a little bit of research about the event as well. You don't want to be reaching out and going crazy and emailing all these people, and then you're going to be landing and overbooking yourself on these events that are one day, that have all square card readers and no bar, no whatever. Like, the ones you're not going to make money on, don't spend your time with those. Go for the big fish. Go for ones that are going to be profitable for you, ones that you want to go to and have fun while you're there at the event. Just some things to keep in mind, okay? I know this video is a little bit longer. Hopefully you guys made it all the way to the end here. There's a few other things that I know I want to touch on with events, and this is probably something that I'll come back to. And I'll probably be filming some of the events that we go to this year as well, just so you can see like what we do, how we're securing it, kind of the cash requirement that we have, just kind of where it's at, how we like to line things up, how we like to get the power secure, the wireless router, things like that. So stay tuned. Obviously there's going to be a lot more stuff that I want to put onto this channel right now. I just want to help you out with just things that you should consider before jumping into the events and festivals mobile event business. It is a super awesome way to make a lot more money in a shorter amount of time, but there are a few other things to consider. So hopefully this gave you a few nuggets of what you need to remember, what you need to consider. Again, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to subscribe, like, share, come back. DM us on Instagram at Absolute ATMs as well. We're pretty active on there. I will message you back if you do send me a DM, and we can get in touch that way. So super, super cool. It's going to be an awesome summer. I hope you guys are crushing it. Again, thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Peace out.